And all of you can watch the Jinwani channel at 11 a.m. today. They'll be relaying a program which I'm comparing.
Okay.
The Jinwani channel, Paras channel will upload it later on, they say, and Adinath channel will upload it later on.
Ma'am, these channels we can watch through live streaming through internet, or ma'am? So it's only through TV?
No, I think it should be there everywhere. YouTube,
Okay.
YouTube,
Okay, okay.
Jinwani channel. But
Okay.
live, yeah, YouTube also is there. And yeah, I think so. Otherwise, you just wait for me. I'll collect the details and give it to you on the. I'll give it to you. You give it on your personal group.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I've sent you the PDF on your private one as well as in the Sunday class.
What will I do with the PDF? I'll have to look into the PDF. Then you all can't see my face. If I go to the PDF, supposing
So how do we send the book to you?
you don't have to send it to me. You have to play it on your laptop, share. How Jayanti Lalji shares the book.
Okay.
That way. That
So
way I
only
want
the
somebody.
host can do it. I don't know who the host is.
Yeah. You get me?
Yes.
Otherwise, I will look into it and then I will switch off my video and I'll be talking. If that is okay with everybody, then I'll do.
I think Mahendranji, who is the host, can do it now.
Mahendran sir.
Am I the host now? So I'm trying to log in through my laptop now. I just logged in through my phone.
Okay. You take your time. You take your time. Tell me to do the prayer.
I'm opening the
and
Agam
we'll start
Kenaya
the class.
also.
Yeah,
I'm
you do
opening
it.
it
You do it.
also. Let me
Once
try.
you're done, you let us know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chal. ठीक है?
Nice.
I'm so happy I'm sitting down and taking the class today. Squatting, and I'm sitting in my Padmasan and I'm just liking it. Yeah.
Was it very hot in Shravanabeliggola yesterday, ma'am?
Hot only, but not as hot as. See, it is hot only. Yes, I couldn't climb up the mountain. As simple as that.
Only
Because
Abhayji went.
Yeah, only Abhayji went. And from here, I've been doing Gomateshwara, Nama Gomateshwara. And now we are in Bangalore. It's a huge place.
Where is this, ma'am?
This is in Kumbadagodu. And it is Nirmal Kumar Sethi's third Punya Smriti Divas.
Correct.
And they are celebrating it as Jain Dharohar Divas. And yeah, so today they'll be awarding two people, Suchitra Das and one Gyanmal Shah from Ahmedabad, for their contribution to literature, art, architecture, and archaeology. And then Surendra Hegdeji is coming, and Mr. Naveen, who is a Rajya Sabha member, is coming. And then Hampa Nagarajaya sir will be there. Shubh Majumdar will be there. And then the trustees and all these people will be there.
Very good.
And Aratipur Swamiji will be here. Yesterday, Charukirti, Abhinav Charukirti Swamiji was there. Okay. Somebody is sharing something. So once it's done, you let us know. We'll do the prayer now. स्याद्वादनय शतद्रव्य गुण पर्याय और प्रमाण का जड़ कर्म चेतन बंध का अरु कर्म के अवसान का कह कर स्वरूप यथार्थ जग का जो किया उपकार है के लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है I hope you all remember this stuti. Syadvad Naya. You have to use Syadvad and Naya to understand the Shadravya. And the Shadravya includes Guna and Paryay. And then you get the Praman of it, the valid knowledge of it. Okay? So Syadvad Naya Shat Dravya Guna Paryaya or Pramanika. Through all these, they have used, through all these, they have all told us the difference, how to differentiate between Jad and Chetan. Okay? Chetan is a pure soul and Jad is the karma. And how the karmas can avasan. Avasan means can come to rest. And the Chetan will manifest. Okay? So Jad karma Chetan ke whatever, avasan. Kehkar swarup yatharth jag ka. You have spoken about the reality. And yatha arth. Yatha arth means as it is, the world as it is, the universe as it is, the functioning of the universe as it is. Jo kiya upkar hai. And upkar means how you have helped us. So, uske liye Jinwani maa ko vandana shat baar hai. We bow down to the holy Jinwani, the sacred Jinwani, hundreds of times or millions of times or what. That is the meaning of the prayer. In case you have forgotten. Yes. Somebody wants to say something?
Ma'am,
Yes, wonderful, wonderful.
Ma'am, is there a Tarka Shastra in Jainism?
Tarka Shastra is there, no? Yes, Pramana Shastra, Tarka Shastra, Pramana Mimamsa. Yes, Tarka Bhasha is there. Shvetamba tradition, Tarka Bhasha is there. Tarka Shastra you have to check. Tarka Bhasha I have read. Praman Mimamsa I have read. All at the MA level. Yes, they all are there. Syadvad Manjari, Sapta Bhangi Tarangini, Prameya Kamala Martanda. You have studied all the logic works, no, Shoma ma'am? We have given you a list
Yes,
of
ma'am.
logic works.
Yes, but do they teach you how to debate?
No, no, no. There, no. I'll tell you one thing. One second. Sorry. They don't teach you how to debate. They teach you how to have a dialogue, how to apply the tarka or logic to talk about the Jain concepts. That's all. You're going to learn Pariksha Mukh in the 10th semester. Don't worry.
No,
So
ma'am.
Pariksha Mukh, no, you learn.
In Vedic Shastra things, there is something called Tarka Shastra, where they teach you how to go about the methodology of debating.
No, we don't have such methodology here. But of course, there is a methodology and you have to read logic very extensively for that. You have to read logic. You have to be thorough with the whole of Jain philosophy, and you have to be thorough with all the other Indian philosophical systems. And then you have to apply the tools of logic to do the Khandan Mandan. How to do the Khandan of the opponent and how to do the Mandan of the Swa Shastra, Swa philosophy. That is called Tarka Shastra. Okay? Chalo, please say yes so that I can proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, now I'll request Mahendran sir to go to page number 2930. To go to page number 29 or 30. From there we have to do today. Okay. So please, 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 please. So today we are going to concentrate on, hello, why is my video off? I can't see my video. Hello. It should show in this thing, no? You all can see my photo?
We can see, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry to bother you all. Yes. Go, sir. Thoda aur upar. Oh, you've concluded? No. We don't have to go so far. Please go up again. Page number 20. Wait. Upar. 20. Arey, upar jao. PDF mein pages number kam hai. In your book, it is page number 29. Sorry, Mahendran sir, to bother you. 20. Go to 20. थोड़ा ऊपर जाते जाओ ना प्लीज 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 प्लीज, और थोड़ा ऊपर, बस 2-3 पेज। यस यस, थोड़ा ऊपर थोड़ा ऊपर थोड़ा ऊपर, थोड़ा सा ऊपर, एक और पेज बस, हाँ। Yes, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's the page. So, yes, all of you know the context. Malarvili madam, you are having difficulty with the Hindi PDF.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to ask Vipul to give you the English translation of this book.
Okay, ma'am.
He's doing it. So just ask him the status and he will give it to you. But it will take a month or so for them to translate. I've put a word to them to translate this book and to give it to all of you. So just bear with us. And in the meantime, please follow it up with Vipul Mahindran sir. Okay, chalo. So now we are doing Agam Ke Naya, and under Agam Ke Naya, we have Dravyarthik Naya and Paryayarthik Naya. And we spoke about Dravya number 1, Dravya number 2, Dravya number 3. Am I right? Hello? Dravya number 1 is the whole Dravya which you get to understand in Praman. Under Dravyarthik Naya, you have the word Dravya. And then under Dravyarthik Naya and Paryarthik Naya, in your cover page, book of your cover page, please look at that book, all of you. There are 2 eyes. One eye is closed. Yeah, please, Saurabh sir, show everybody the book. So, thoda upar karke bata dijiye. So, here you have Dravya upar. We are talking about the substance, living and non-living. And that living and non-living, you have to understand from 2 viewpoints. So there the viewpoint is Dravyarthik Naya number 2. And then under the viewpoint, you have to dissect the Dravya and understand it from the Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav point of view. So there the Dravya is number 3. This what was we mentioned in the last class, if I'm right, if you all remember, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then there are some words, Sarvatha, Sarvada, Sarvatra, that I will take later on. Next class, I will take that. Today, I will concentrate on the divisions of Dravyarthik Naya. Clear? All of you, please keep saying yes, otherwise I'll be lost.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you can put that book down. So, today we are going to close one eye of Paryayarthik Naya. And we are going to keep the eye open of the Dravyarthik Naya and look at the substance. Okay, so now this Dravyarthik Naya is of how many divisions? Primarily 6 divisions. And their subdivisions are 10. How? See, now learn to read. First is Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya, number 1. Second is Ashuddha Dravyarthik Naya. The third one is Anvaya Dravyarthik Naya. You can write down as I'm telling. If you have difficulty, you can write down in your book. And fourth is, see, it looks very big, you know, but it's very simple, very simple. Once I explain it, it'll be very simple. The whole thing will be very simple. And if you people want me to take this lesson once again in May, June, I can take again. Don't worry. Now you just concentrate on what I'm telling. So Shuddha and DN. DN is Dravyarthik Naya. So you have to remember Shuddha, Ashuddha, Anvaya, then Swadravya. Swadravya, Paradravya, and Parama Bhava Grahi Dravyarthik Naya. Okay? Now, the Shuddha and Ashuddha, 1 and 2, are having 3 divisions each. That is what is mentioned in the chart below, over here. You have the chart here?
Yes,
Here?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, Shuddha and Ashuddha, both are 3 divisions. And terminology is same. But in one, it will be, the word will be Nirapeksha. And in the second one, it will be Sapeksha. Nirapeksha means absolute. Sapeksha means relatively. Now, what are those? You have to see Karmopadhi, Bheda Kalpana, and Utpadvyay. No Dravya, Utpadvyay. Okay? So, Karmopadhi Nirapeksha, opposite side, Karmopadhi Sapeksha. Then Bheda Kalpana Nirapeksha, Bheda Kalpana Sapeksha. Then Utpada Vyaya Nirapeksha and Utpada Vyaya Sapeksha. So you get how many? 6. And then you see on the right hand side, third is Anvaya. Fourth is Swadravyadi Grahak, Dravyarthik Naya. And then Paradravyadi Grahak, Dravyarthik Naya. And then last one is Parama Bhava Grahi Dravyarthik Naya. Okay, now go to the next page, dear. Just each page, be there, be there, be there, be there. That's enough, that's it. Now, you all have studied Nishchay Naya ke 4 divisions and Vyavahar Naya ke 4 divisions. So there you saw, no, Asadbhut, Sadbhut, hai na? Then Param Shuddha, Shuddha, Ashuddha. So they're all talking of the complex reality. Likewise, this Dravyarthik Naya is also talking of the complex reality. Now, what is the meaning of this word Nirapeksh and Sapeksh? See, when, for example, you go to see an alliance for your child, okay? You go to see an alliance for your child. So now before the child comes, before the girl or the boy comes, they will be talking about the girl's activities, the boy's activities, and his nature, and many things, no? They'll show their paintings and their hobbies and whatever. This is how customary it used to be in those days. But in these days, boy, girl only, they see each other. And even when they're seeing each other, what they're seeing the Lakshan. You know, whether this boy's mentality and my mentality, whether this boy's nature and my nature, his food habits and my food habits, you know, will they match? Will I be okay with it? So they are seeing the relatively, they are analyzing the things. You know, with respect to this, yes, okay, this girl is okay. With respect to this girl is okay. So you're seeing all the Lakshan, but you're determining the Lakshya. Lakshya means the girl as such, whether yes or no. So, now that you have seen all the Lakshan and you have said yes to the girl, that time after telling yes for the girl or the alliance of the boy, what do you see? Now, do you see the girl and say, oh, you're good at this, oh, you're good at driving, so I got you into my house. So, Nirapeksha. That's you're my girl, you're my child. But before determining, you were relatively analyzing things. With respect to this, she's this much. With respect to this, she's this much. But after all the analysis is done, now you have to decide. At that time, it becomes Nirapeksh. So, when you look at the Dravyarthik Naya, from 3 points of views, Karmopadhi, Bheda Kalpana, and Utpada Vyaya, then it will become either Nirapeksh or Sapeksh, absolutely or relatively. Now, what I was to say, now let us take the meaning of these three. Karmopadhi. Upadhi means any possessions. And we have Adi, Vyadi, Upadhi. Adi, Vyadi, Upadhi, Upadhi. Upadik Bhav. These are all technical terms. This is not Hindi. This is not anything else. It is all typical Jain philosophical and logic terminology. So, Karmopadhi. So, Adi means what? Mental anxiety. Vyadhi means physical ailments. And all these both are there because of the Upadhi in life. You remove the Upadhi, Adi will go and Vyadhi will go, and then finally the body will go. What remains is the pure soul. You understand? So the Jeev, no, is the Upadhi for itself. Jeev hi Jeev ka parigrah hai. It doesn't understand that. So it goes behind all the other material parigrah. See, when we die, no, we are not going to take anything with us. Why we are not going to take anything with us? Because the soul doesn't need all this. In moksha, Siddha Bhagwan is living without all this. The Atma Paripurna, complete in itself. He realized it, he manifested it, and he's enjoying the fruit of it over there. But he started enjoying the fruit of it over here. And the continuity goes on, therefore, Sadi Anantakal. With beginning and endless time, it remained. So he understood that his Atma is his Upadhi. So now there is no mental anxiety. Adi is not there. So no Vyadhi is also happening to the body. So here there is a very beautiful thought here that all physical diseases, the root is in the spiritual world. The seed is there. And then it manifests at the mental level and then at the physical level. So now how to remove all that? How to remove the upadhi? How to remove the karma? How to remove the physical ailments? How to forget that you have a body? How to not have mental anxiety? So look at the reality from the Dravyarthik Nyaya point of view and see that the pure soul is beyond any karma upadhi. In the Atma, there is no raga, dvesha, bhava karma, dravya karma, no karma. It is pure soul like Siddhabhakti. So you are seeing it as nirapeksha. Absolutely, it is this only. So that is the first Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya, which looks at the pure soul. Now I'll give you two examples over here. The first one is of the diamond and the second one is of the water. Our routine examples. The diamond in the kichad. Kichad you all know, in the sakade, in the gutter or whatever it is with all the kachra. Okay? It is the dirty, wet kichad, not the dry kachra, heap of kachra. Okay. Now without the diamond is there, but it is covered with all the dirt. Dirt बोले क्या बोलते हैं? कीचड़ को क्या बोलते हैं? कीचड़ को क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में? Swamp.
Mud.
Mud.
Not mud. Mud में से तो you will pick it out. But to go into the gutter and remove the diamond which has fallen into it. Whatever you understood, no? Sakade you understood, kichad you understood. Now you manage with these two words. Okay, now the diamond has fallen. Now all the kachra has stuck to the diamond. Now, is the diamond pure or not? Is the diamond 24 carat or whatever carat diamond or not at that time? Will you pick it up or not?
Yes.
So, will you pick it up or not just because it has fallen in the gutter? Gutter need not necessarily be sewage. It can be any chemical sewage going into the water, whatever. Kichad. Kichad is different from sewage. Kichad is, supposing it has rained and the mud water is there, no? That black color, very dirty water and kichad. We call that as kichad. Now, in that, the diamond has fallen. And that kichad is little deep. So, will you pick up your diamond or not?
Pick up, ma'am.
Why you'll pick it up? It has become Ashuddha, no? It has become Ashuddha. All the kichad is on it. It has become dirty. My hands will get dirty if I put my hand into it. So, I'm not going to pick it up. Leave it. Let it go. Will you let it go? Ditch, yes. Bolo. Even though the diamond is in the ditch with all the kichad, it is pure or not?
Pure.
It is pure, ma'am.
Pure.
No? You're seeing it as a pure diamond. That is the Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya. You see it as kichad nirapeksha. But at the same time, you know the kichad is also there. But it's just outside. Nothing has happened to the diamond. It's just I have to pick up the diamond and put it under the running water and I get my diamond that can be usable. With the kichad, you cannot use it. Likewise, the Atma with the karma kichad cannot become Siddha. Even though it is like Siddha, all the kichad karma has to be cleansed. But we will say, not doing Atma Shuddhi. Atma is Shuddha. We realize it and all the Ashuddhi goes. So Ashuddhi is there. So that is the Ashuddha Karmopadhi Sapeksha Dravyarthik Naya. You look at the dirt, karma is there. But from this viewpoint, it is there. And from this viewpoint, there is no kachra in the Atma. There is no raga, dvesha, karma in the Atma. And you experience that pure soul in your meditation and it manifests and then all the karmas drop. You are not realizing, you are not accepting the pure soul because you're not having the viewpoint. So the karmas are attaching to you and they're not detaching from you. Clear this first point? Karmopadhi Sapeksh is Ashuddha Dravyarthik Naya number 2. Number 2 means 1.2. And 1.1 is the Karmopadhi Nirapeksha Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya. Clear? Now you will read that passage with Saurabh Bhai. He'll explain to you one by one, and then wait for the English book to come, or whoever is explaining to you, you will sit with them. So these 2 points is clear.
Thank
Now,
you.
Ma'am, 1 minute. Does it mean to say that the karmas don't leave us because we think that it is important?
because we think it is ours. So it doesn't leave you and go. You have not understood what is your Atma ka kya hai. You don't know. You have not come home to your pure soul. You have not got that realization. So the karmas are attaching to you.
Mm.
And we put all the blame on the karma. Because of karma, this is happening. Because of karma. Arey, no, Baba. We are short-sighted, so only things are happening. I gave you that elephant example, no? Elephant, child. It is not tied at all, but it thinks it is tied because of Anadi Sanskar. Anadi, not for the elephant, for us.
Mm.
So that is that ego. I am this, I am this. Arey, you don't know what that real I am is. That real I am, we have not understood. And that what we are not, we are thinking it is us. That is only Mohaniya Karma. Darshan Mohaniya Karma. That has to be erased through the application of the Nayas. Merely studying the Nayas is not even going to help you. You have to apply it while meditation, while in your day-to-day life. When you meet the challenges, are you able to apply? So simply saying, I'm a pure soul is not going to help you. You have to understand from this point of view, I'm a pure soul. And from this point of view, I'm not a pure soul. But from this point of view, I'm a mother means from this point of view, I'm not a mother. At the same time. Clear? This first example. Now I'll give you another example. Our regular example, dirty water. In a glass of water, it's a muddy water. Dirty water means muddy water. Okay, mud, I have put some mud in the water. Now tell me, this water is clean or dirty? And there is no other water for you to drink. Only this water is there. Only this river water or that stream water or that well water is there, which is flooded with all the rain ka mud. Will you take that water home and use it, or will you leave it and remain thirsty? Bolo.
We'll purify it and use it.
Huh?
We'll purify and use it.
What do you mean by purifying?
So I'm saying that in the Dravya form, the water is clean, but in Paryaya form, it is muddy. So if I use any tool to extract that mud out, then the pure water will manifest there and I can use that for drinking.
Okay. Now you have to go a little one step deeper. Yeah. Whatever, all of you understood what Saurabh Bhai said. From the Dravya point of view, the water is pure. But in the Pariya, in that Avastha, in that modification form, it is impure. Now you have to go a step further and understand that Pariya is of 2 types. Swabhav Pariyai and Vibhav Pariyai. So because the mud is there, it is called Vibhav Pariyai. But potentially the water is pure or not. Like even though you boil the water, steaming hot boiling point water is there, even though the coolness nature is there in the water or not. And how that coolness will manifest? The more and more it goes away from the hotness. Or time should allow the water not to become more hot. Then the coolness keeps coming, the hotness keeps going. So likewise, Atma is like that water. And the coolness is its intrinsic properties of Anant Gyan Darshan Sukhvirya. And the hotness is because of the karma kashai. So in tap, in meditation, you are meditating on the intrinsic properties of the soul. And then all the hotness of karma and kashai leaves it. And what manifests is the intrinsic nature of the water there and soul here. So even though the water is boiling hot, the coolness is intact. Likewise, even though the water is dirty, Even though the water is dirty, at that time also the pure paryay of the water is there, of quenching your thirst, of becoming clean, of remaining cool, not to be allowed. It is not getting disturbed by the dirty water. The qualities of water are intact, but they are not potable, they are not drinkable, usable. So now a lady who goes to the stream, she knows that the water is pure from this point of view and impure from this point of view. She knows this is a good drinking water, quality wala water. So what if it is with the dirt? I'll just put the alum and remove all the dirt. Now this alum is in the Atmaka case, it is the meditation and it is all the Samvar Nirjara activities. And all directed towards the experience of the soul, not the physical activities. All the physical activities of Samvar and Tap are again asrav only. That realization, how much you realize your soul, that much is Samvar Nirjara, the purity of the soul that you experience. Applying the Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya. Oh, I'm a divine soul, I'm a pure soul, I'm a Trikal Jnani, Gyan Darshan Swabhav only. More Ragvesh are not my intrinsic nature. They are not my intrinsic nature. They are not my pure potential. My pure potential is to remain in Ananta Jnana Darshan Sukha Virya like Siddha Bhagwan. Even now, the Jnana Darshan Sukha Virya is emanating from me. But we don't take cognizance of it. So the karmas are overpowering us. So the karmas are overpowering, yet these karmas can never steal you of your intrinsic properties. So from the Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya, Karmopadi Nirapeksh and Karmopadi Sapeksh. You've understood? Now, Bheda Kalpana. Clear? You got the examples, two examples, diamond ka example and water ka example. So the water,
Yes,
even though pure, it is impure. And even though impure, it is pure. So when you say impure, you're closing the eye of pure. And when you say pure, you're closing the eye of impure. If you don't do this, what will happen? If you say it is pure only, then you should be like Siddha Bhagwan. Why you're doing all business? Why you're doing all khana peene ka kaam? So somewhere some impurity is there? No. Okay, if the impurity is there, then you will, if that impurity is forever your nature, then no jeev will become Siddha Bhagwan. So any jeev who becomes Siddha Bhagwan will apply this understanding relatively and absolutely Dravyarthik Naya, Sapeksh, Nirapeksh, Sapeksh, Nirapeksh, Sapeksh, Nirapeksh, and the churning will happen, and then the Gyan becomes Keval Gyan. Understood this?
yes, ma'am.
Upadi, Sapeksh, Nirapeksh. Now you read these passages and we will read it. I'm not having the book now, so I'm only going to explain to you the 10 divisions now. The reading part, we will do it later on. Clear? Or you do it and help yourself, or come to me with the doubts. Anything is okay. Now, next comes the Bheda Kalpana Sapeksh and Bheda Kalpana Nirapeksh. So, whenever you're talking Sapeksh means relatively, it will be Ashuddha Dravyarthik Naya. And when you're talking absolutely, it is the Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya. Clear? So, I'm going to ask you in the next class to close your eyes, or each one of you, and tell me the 10 divisions of Dravyarthik Naya. Learn it today itself. Learn it now itself. So Shuddha, Ashuddha, Nirapeksha, Sapeksh. First two we have done, Karmopadi, Nirapeksh, Sapeksh. Now comes Bheda Kalpana, Nirapeksha, Bheda Kalpana, Sapeksha. So when we say Nirapeksha, it is Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya. And when we say Sapeksha, it is Ashuddha Dravyarthik Naya. Even though we are talking of a paryay, but the focus is to determine the nature of the dravya. Even though we are talking of the paryay, so this Dravyarthik Naya doesn't come under Paryayarthik Naya, nor does it come under Praman. Okay, that point is also given in your book. Please read it. You have to read this book 2, 3, 4 times to get a hang of it. Okay, first attempt you will get something. Second attempt you will get something. Third attempt you will get something. Fourth, fifth, 10th, fully put all your efforts to get the whole thing. And if possible, teach 4 or 5 people. And if you want, pay them also and teach. है ना? Pay them का मतलब क्या है? मर खप करके भी अगर करना पड़े तो कर. When you teach, no, you are actually first teaching yourself. So for again, second time you teach. Okay, now you teach the third person. So you're teaching yourself third time. For that person, it may be the first time. So if you can't do it for yourself, at least catch hold of people. So that's why, not catch hold of people. I enjoy the variety of students I have and they make me do it. Otherwise, I can sit in front of the mirror and I can keep talking. Do you think it's possible? This is Jada. You all are Chetan. So you are all Nimit. Because of that, I am able to talk. Otherwise, how I can? Okay, I can talk. I'm on my deathbed and you all come to my deathbed. Can I talk? All my Shakti gone. Now make me talk. So can I talk? No. So now I'm talking because of the Pudgal ka nimit. Atma is not of the nature of talking. Atma is of the nature of Gyan Darshan, knowing, seeing. Knowing, seeing is the Atma ka function. Talking, eating, walking is not my nature. That is Vairagya. That is detachment. That is Vitragda. Otherwise, it is Rag Dvesh only. And Raga ka Rag. Ananta Sansar. So it is like a cat on a hot tin roof. This side, if you go, it is Vitrag. This side, if you go, it's Rag Dvesh. This side, if you understand, it is Moksha Marg. This side, if you miss the bus, it is Sansar Marg. Okay, so now Bheda Kalpana Nirupana. What is Bheda Kalpana? There are 3-4 words given over there. What are those? Can you just flip up the page a little? Yeah, Gun Guni. कहाँ पर है? नीचे जाइए. हाँ, नहीं. Okay, हाँ. देखो.
Dharma, dharma, paryaya, paryayi.
Yes. Gun, guni, dharma, dharmi, paryay, paryayi. Yeah. Where is it? Yeah, it is given there. It is given. You all can see in the last page of 20. There,
In the book,
last
it is
page of 20.
ma'am. In the book, it
In
is
the book.
33.
Yeah. Today you follow this page number there. Yeah. See, now you have these words. Gun, guni, dharam, dharmi, paryay, paryayi. So Atma is paryayi, from which all the paryay are coming. Like ocean is paryayi and the paryay of the waves are coming. Ocean is dharmi and it is an embodiment or a storehouse of all the properties, dharma, properties. Okay, when you're talking of two yugal, opposite, nitya, anitya, tat, atat, then it is dharma. And when you don't have the yugal, you're having the intrinsic properties, it is called guna. Clear? So Atma is guni, like sugar is guni, and the sweetness is a guna. Sweetness is the dharma. You can interchangeably use these words, but then in the logic works, they have differentiated between dharma, guna, shakti, and paryay and all these things, but it is talking about the same thing in different ways. Okay? And all are existing in the substance. All are existing in the substance. Like the ocean is nitya and anitya. Eternally the ocean is there. But anitya, the same morning you saw the ocean and evening you go and see the ocean. Is it the same water? Is it the same wave waiting for you? You can't step into the same river twice. So much of water is gone. But the river is a Ganga river. And eternally you'll call it Ganga river. Eternally matlab, जब तक है अपन तब तक उसको गंगा ही बोलेंगे ना. It doesn't become Yamuna. Yamuna doesn't become Ganga. Likewise, Atma is Atma only. But the paryay of Gyan Darshan changing. But Atma ka Gyan gun doesn't change. So the Chaitanya Swarup, there was one very nice line I read. I don't remember. I'll tell you in the next class about it. Chaitanya and all that. You ask me, I will tell you. Take it. So now you understood.
What is dharma, dharmi, ma'am?
See, Atma is dharmi. Dharmi means an embodiment of infinite properties, dharma. Vastu swabhava dharma. So that vastu is dharmi. It's that swabhav is the dharma. Sugar is the dharmi.
Swabhav and guna are not the same.
Huh. See, now you understand everything as same one. You go little deeper, we can we can dissect it.
Okay.
Oh,
But
now you
but
understand.
why have they said guna separately and dharma separately, ma'am?
That's what I told you. When you use two opposites, nitya, anitya, ek, anek, bheda, bheda, then we say dharma, dharma. And when you don't have this, like for Atma is Gyan Gun only, then you will say from another aspect, Agyan is also there in the Atma. The opposite of it is there. If Atma is made of Gyan, then the opposite of Gyan, Agyan. So sometime it should be made of Agyan also. So where you don't have these pairs, you will go to the Guna. And when you are using it in pairs, you will use Dharam, Dharmi. Dharam.
So it's the what is the inferred at the time of reference, that is it, is it?
Yes. See, when you say Atma is Nitya, then you have to understand from another point of view, it is Anitya. Clear? Atma is Nitya means the Jnana Swabhava is Nitya. But that Swabhava is with the Utpadvyaya of the Paryaya of the Jnana, no? So Anitya, all those Paryaya are Anitya. So you're using Nitya, Anitya as Dharma. But when you say Jnana Gun, eternally Jnana Gun, Atma is made of Jnana Darshan Gun. There you have the pair.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Chalo. Now Paryayi, Paryay. Paryayi is the one who is a storehouse of infinite Paryay. Atma is a storehouse of infinite Paryay. Since Anadi Kal, our Jeev is doing Gyan, Darshan, Gyan, Darshan, Gyan, Darshan, Gyan. And in Moksha also continue to do Gyan, Darshan, Gyan, Darshan. But the Gyan in Nigod level and the Gyan in Siddha level is different or not? Paryay is different or not? But it is of Gyan only, no? It cannot become Darshan ki Paryay. So when you look at the complex reality with respect to the differences of all this Gun, Guni, Dharam, Dharmi, it is called Bhed Kalpana Sapeksh. Bhed, you are looking at the Bhed. But it is all Kalpana. Kalpana means what? Like, for example, I tell you sugar. And you remove the sweetness from the sugar. Can you remove it? It's a Kalpana only. No, it's not real. But to understand the sugar, to explain what is sugar to a child, we say it is white, it is crystal, it is. That doesn't mean that all these are hanging outside this sugar. They are all in the sugar. The sugar is made of all this. So likewise, when you say Gyan, Darshan, or there in the Atma, you are talking of the Bhed Kalpana Sapeksha Ashuddha Dravyartik Naya point of view. And when you don't have this, you are talking Beda Kalpana. Atma is what Atma is. So in meditation, you experience the Atma as it is. So it will be the Beda Kalpana Nirapeksha Shuddha Dravyartik Nayaka application. But when you meditate, your mind will be wavering. You look at Gyan, you look at Darshan, you look at this, you look at this, you look at this. So you're doing the Beda Kalpana Sapeksh Dravyartik Naya point of view you're applying. And these points will keep fluctuating. Viewpoints. They are all viewpoints. Okay, now I can't go more into this. You have to read it and come back to me. The third one is Utpada Vyaya Sapeksh Nirapeksh. When you look at the ocean, you don't see the waves, you don't see the depth, you don't see anything. You see only the ocean. But you know that all these Utpad Vyaya is there in it. So when you target the Utpada Vyaya, it is the Bheda Kalpana, Utpada Vyaya Sapeksha Dravyartik Naya, Ashuddha Dravyartik Naya. Okay? And when you don't look at all this, you close that eye and you look at the Dravya, Bheda Kalpana, Utpada Vyaya Nirapeksha, Shuddha Dravyartik Naya, it is. So for each one sentence is given. So I'll leave the class at 9 o'clock. You have to do the reading of the pages with each other's help or wait for me next week. So now come to the fourth one. What is the fourth one? Please go to the next page. There. Anvaya Dravyartik Naya. What is the meaning of this Anvaya? Now write down two words. Anvaya Vyatireka. These two words are used in all philosophies. Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Mimamsa. So what is Anvaya? Go to Google and search for the meaning of Anvaya and Vyatirik. I'll give you the meaning. Later on, you go and search. It is connectedness and disconnectedness. What does it mean? Connected, disconnected. For example, even though the Atma is in the Gati, any Gati it is, the connectivity of the Atma with Gyan Darshan is there or not?
Yes.
No, Gyan Darshan Gun are intact in it or not? So even though the soul is in all negative situation, yet the positive, not positive, yet the intrinsic qualities never leave it. So that is the Anvaya Sambandha. Always it will be there. Never the disconnectedness, Vyatirek will be there. So when you look at the Atma and say that it is Ananta Gunatmak, okay, and then it is, Ananta Swabhavatmak, then you say it is Sukha Swabhavi, Astitva, Bhinna, all these qualities, even though it is in the 4 Gati, 5 Jati, with all the 8 karmas, it is always, these qualities will never return. This is the Ananta Kshamata. Who is this? Who is this Aarti? Why Aarti? थोड़ा समझ में आया क्या? Hello.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So Anvaya means, for example, your house is there somewhere in India, but you are traveling to China and Korea, and so are you connected to your house or not? Even though you are disconnected, you are connected. And even though you are connected, you are disconnected. Some way connected, some way disconnected. It is your house only. Even for 10 years, if you don't return to the house, it will remain your house. Your wife will remain your wife. Likewise, for hundreds of Janma, we have not visited the soul. Yet our soul is our soul. It will never leave us and go. We'll never become shunya of it. And all the qualities of the soul are, Anvaya means connected with the soul. We don't realize it. So even though we are with the karmas, we are disconnected with them. And even though we have all the intrinsic properties, that Anvaya Sambandha is intact. And with the karmas, it is the Vyatireka Sambandha. Understood? Okay. So
Yes.
how smoke and fire are connected. Smoke and fire are connected. Example, kitchen. But if I give the example of a pond, smoke and fire are connected. Example, pond. So there is no connectivity, disconnected. Disconnect is there. So likewise, there is a disconnect between the Atma and Karma, between Atma and Raga, Atma and Dvesha. And there is a connect between Atma and Jnana. So even though the Raga Dvesha are operating, yet the Jnana-adi Gun are also operating. So that Jnana-adi Gun is the Swabhav Paryay and Rag Dvesha are the Vibhav Paryay. But both are Paryay. But I am an embodiment of infinite, pure Paryay. And I don't realize that I am a house of infinite, pure Paryay. So the impure Paryayas are operating. And the day you realize, oh, I am that embodiment of infinite, pure Paryay, like from Keval Ravi Kirano se, from the sun only the rays are coming. Likewise, I am an Atma and from it the Gyan rays are coming. I don't realize the Gyan rays, so the Rag Dvesh rays are there, but they do not belong to that Surya. Clear? है ना, सिद्ध समान आत्मा बोलने के पीछे दिस मच ऑफ लॉजिक हैज टू बी अप्लाइड. अदरवाइज ऊपर ऊपर से बोल दिया बट मिलेगा कुछ नहीं. बट इवेंचुअली परंपरा से मिल सकता है, परंपरा से मिल सकता है. इफ द एप्लीकेशन हैपेंस, you may get an opportunity to understand these kind of things again. Until and unless you apply complete exertion, complete purusharth, one pointed focus, that Arjun ka example, until and unless that one pointed focus is there, atma milne wali nahi hai. Mila hua hai to bhi nahi mila hua hai. प्राप्त है, आत्मा प्राप्त है, but आत्मा को आत्मा प्राप्त नहीं. हाँ हाँ. So understood, Anvay? Now next point. What is the next one? It is Swadravyadi Grahak. Please flip the page, not flip the page, go up. Yes. There. Yeah, I got it. Swadravya means you have to understand in the Dravya 4 aspects. Not in the Dravya. The Dravya is as it is, but to understand the Dravya, we have 4 aspects. What are those? Dravya, Kshetra, Kala, Bhava. They are written in the cover page. Substance, I've explained it very nicely, giving the wedding card example. Say Mahendran sir's daughter is getting married. So 2 Dravya getting married, boy and girl, naam milega Dravya. Hai na? Let us say Asha and Suresh. So 2 Dravya. Kshetra, okay, Mahendran sir says all of you come for the wedding, but he doesn't give the details. Will you go for the wedding? Oh, 2 Dravya is getting married. Two people getting married. 2 living things getting married. Living beings, not things, sorry, living beings getting. Dravya mil gaya na, Dravya ho gaya na, samajh mein aa gaya, jao shaadi mein. No, he has to tell you place. Kshetra. Now he's given you the place. Come, all of you come to Chennai. But he doesn't tell you when to come. Will you go for the wedding? No, he has to tell you the time. And which day, which date, and which muhurtam. Okay, and then you have to go with all the bhav, that friendship that you have with Mahendran sir, or the fondness you have for him, or if you're his family relative very close to him, you'll take a bigger gift. If not, you'll take a smaller gift, or you may not go at all. Okay, Mahendran sir ही तो है ना, परमागम class ही तो है. So what if he's a team leader? यहीं से एक message भेज देंगे, यहीं से एक ये कर देंगे. But if you're his very close relative, bhav will be different or not. So now listen. Now take the diamond example again. The diamond in the gutter. The Swadravya Kshetra Kal Bhav of the diamond is intact. The Paradravya, Parakshetra, Parakala, Parabhav is not there in the diamond. Sugar and salt together in a bag, both are existing in their Swadravya Kshetra Kal Bhav. None has entered into the other or disturbed the other. Your tooth is aching. One tooth is aching. The other tooth, no ache, no problem. Nothing is happening to the other. That means what? This tooth, the Swadravya Kshetra Kal Bhav is different. The next tooth, the Swadravya Kshetra Kal Bhav is different. Understood? Then, sorry, Atma, Chaitanya Swarup, Gyan Darshan is its Swadravya Kshetra Kal Bhav, and Karma, Kashaya, Raga, Dvesha is Paradravya Kshetra Kal Bhav. So when you apply the Swadravya, then it has become Swadravyadi Grahak Dravyartik Naya. And I am this only. At that same time, you understand I am not that also. The Paradravya are not in me. संसार की सिद्धि करने के लिए दिल से आत्मा में मोह राग द्वेष है, और मोक्ष की सिद्धि के लिए दिल से आत्मा में ज्ञान दर्शन के अलावा कुछ. But both are existing as a complex reality. ठीक है, समझ में आया? स्वद्रव्यादि पर. Now go to the next page. Last one. Param bha. Now wait. This chart you have to see. See here, they have given a tabular column difference between Swadravyadi Grahak and Paradravyadi Grahak. So first one, Asti Swarupa. Swadravya is Asti, accepting sugar as sugar. Nasti of salt in the sugar. That is the Paradravya. Right hand side mein na Asti, not there. Asti hai. Okay. Second point is Pratyek Dravya. This is the Swadravya Kshetra Kalbhav is called Swachatushtaya. And Paradravya Kshetra Kalbhav is called Parachatushtaya. So the Jeev is shining in its Swachatushtaya. And this, from the Parachatushtaya point of view, for karma, karma is Swachatushtaya. In it, there is no Atma. In the Atma, Atma is Swachatushtaya, no karma. So sugar is sugar ka Swachatushtaya, no Parchatushtaya. And for salt, salt is Swachatushtaya, Virajman. Par is not there in it. So these are the two things. Third one is Karya. The Swachatushtaya does not allow the soul to disintegrate. All the qualities will not leave the soul and go. Kshetra alag, Dravya alag, Kal alag, no. Intact. And this is like the, what to say, they have given it as Graha Mantralaya, home ministry, taking care of the home, taking care of the internal qualities of the soul, not allowing it to leave it and go. And the other one is like the defense ministry, not allowing anything to enter into it. Associate with it, but not enter into it. Understood? So here you have no dravya, no pudgal can interfere in the functioning of the soul. And soul also cannot interfere in the functioning of any other dravya. Unless otherwise the nimit is there. That's how the whole universe is independently. All the dravya, all the utpada, vyaya, paryaya, guna, everything independently working. So I am an akarta. I am gyata drashta only. All this is happening because of karmas. I am not there at all. I am where I am supposed to be in my pure soul. Understood these four divisions? Now last is Parama Bhava Grahi Dravyarthik Naya. What it says, not looking at all this differences and looking at the Parama Bhava. I am that Param Parinamik Bhava. Param means supremely divine. That is the Parama Bhava Grahi Dravyarthik Naya. So 10 we have finished. You will read them and come back with your doubts. I have to get going. Thank you all and see you on
Thank you,
Jinvani.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you,
all.
ma'am. Have a good
Understood?
event, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Understood? All of you understood today's
Yes, ma'am.
class?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you,
Well
ma'am.
explained,
Bye.
ma'am.
Bye.
Jai
Bye.
Hind.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Can we stay and just read this part in Hindi and understand?
Sure. Okay. So that's page number 28 in the book. Do you want me to translate the chart as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the chart goes like this. The Dravya number 1, which is the whole Dravya, as Madam was explaining, we'll term it as Anshi. So here it says Praman ka Vishay, which means the object of that we are considering for validation. That is your primary goal, which is then bifurcated into two components. One is the Dravyayarthik Naya ka Vishay, which is the object to be looked from Dravyayarthik Naya point of view, which we will call as Dravya number 2. And the second component is the Paryayarthik Naya ka Vishay, which is the Paryay perspective of that object of consideration, which we'll call as Ansha.
What's the difference between Anshi and Ansha?
So Ansha is a component and the whole intact object of that the component is a part of is called Anshi. So for example, if I give
Ansha
you...
is a part. Ansha is a part, right?
No, Ansha is the part, yes.
And Anshi is the whole.
Whole component, whole unit. So
Whole
for
unit.
example, if we say house, then house becomes Anshi and one room becomes ansha of that house.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So this is what they're saying is effectively, again, going back to the front page or the cover page of the book, they're saying that if you are trying to confirm or validate some object, then as such, from validative perspective, the object has been validated under the Praman Praman aspect of it. But to give it more confirmatory standpoint, they would say we will want to look from the Dravya perspective of that object of consideration and the Paryaya perspective of that object of consideration. If I was to give a very crude example, then we say that if we are coming into, say, mango season and we want to go and buy mangoes, so the mango is pramanit because we know the outside features and the inside features of mango. But to confirm that the mango that we're going to be buying, we will be looking at those features that we know of, and we're looking those features in the mango that we are buying. So we will see whether it is green or whether it is yellow or whether it is half green, half yellow. So from the mango perspective, whatever we will look will be the Dravyayarthik Naya point. And the color of it, the taste of it, the smell of it will become the Paryaya point of view. So when we compare both of them, then we can conclude that this mango is the mango that I have considered as a mango. I hope that helps to understand.
Yeah. That means that when you go to buy a mango, the Dravyarthik is to differentiate it from an apple or a pear or something.
Yes.
Whereas Paryarthik is to see whether it is ripe, unripe, or spoilt or unspoilt and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you, Shubham. Now, again, from Dravyarthik. So if we say that we want to differentiate the mango from apples and oranges and whatnot, we would still have furthermore aspects to consider. So then we look at the Dravya number 3, which is the object now being looked from Dravya point of view, Kshetra point of view, Kal point of view, and Bhav point of view. So they will be your Dravya number 3. So mango is your Dravya number 1. Differentiating the mango from oranges and apples and whatnot becomes your Dravya number 2. And now looking at that mango and looking at from Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav becomes your mango Dravya number 3.
According to this diagram, Dravya number 3 is looking at it from Samanya and Vishesha.
Yeah.
Whereas Kshetra, Kal and Bhav are alag of, they are part of number 2 divisions.
So if you look a bit more deeper into it, what it says is that the Dravya number 3 will be considered from Dravya point of view. It will be considered either as Samanya in Dravyayarthik Naya or Vishesh in Paryayarthik Naya. From Kshetra, the same Dravya number 3 will be considered as Abhed from Dravyayarthik Naya and Bhed from Paryayarthik Naya. And the same Dravya number 3 from Kal will be considered as Nitya from Paryayarthik Naya, from Dravyayarthik Naya, and Anitya from Paryayarthik Naya. And from Bhav perspective, the same Dravya number 3 will be considered as 1 from Dravyayarthik Naya and multiple from Paryayarthik Naya. So the Dravya number 3 will encompass everything that is mentioned underneath.
Okay, the last one, that is Vishesh to Bhed to Anitya to Anek.
Yeah. So that Vishesh, Bhed, Anitya, Anek is Paryayarthik Naya objective, and the Samanya, Abhed, Nitya, and Ek becomes the Dravyayarthik Naya point of view. So we'll just go back onto the front page and we'll try and understand this example of mango. Right. So now from first perspective, the mango, we understood what we are trying to consider here. Then the second dravya, which is differentiating the mango from other fruits, so that we can assure ourselves that what we are receiving is a mango and not a mixture of mangoes and say apples and everything. So here we have established mango as the object of consideration. Now in the third point of view, when we look at mango itself, then we will say from Dravyayartik Nyaya point of view, Samanya gun is that mango is like that, so it does not have any gun of apples or any gun of mandarins or any guns of oranges. So that would be your Dravya point of view. So it is Samanya. Now then you say from Kshetra point of view, so the tree that mango grows from does not grow apples in them. So from that point of view, you will say that if it has been born into the plant of a mango, it's coming from a mango tree, it has to be a mango. It cannot be oranges or it cannot be apple. Then from Kal point of view, we say that mangoes grow in certain season, let's say in the warm climate. So if this mango has to be a mango, then it has to have grown in that time zone itself. If it is coming out of the time zone, then there is a possibility that this is not a mango, but for a different fruit. So that is from the Kal point of view. So it always grows in that time. So Nitya point of view, it always grows in there. From Anitya point of view, we can say that within that time frame, there would be time for its ripening. So this mango may have been plucked before it became fully ripe out of the plant. So from Anitya perspective, its paryay is still not completely replicating or representing the main dravya itself. Right, so that's how we say this is a raw mango, or this is a ripened mango, or this is half ripened, or is fully ripened, or these are anitya from the Kal point of view. And Bhav point of view, mango will always have all the characteristics of mango, but no characteristics of any other fruit. So that would be the Dravya point of view of that mango. From Paryay point of view, mango from different phases of its ripening would have different bhav. So the one that is fully raw will be very, very sour, will be very whitish, will be from inside. So those kind of power, and as it ripens, the color inside the pulp changes, the taste of the pulp changes. So those changes happen, which means that is anek bhava at that time. So that way, the idea here that I understand is that they're trying to tell us how to identify an object for consideration. When we are talking about jiva, then how are we going to outlay the characteristics of jiva from Dravyayartik Nyaya point of view and Paryayartik Nyaya point of view, using this Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav to come to a conclusion that the consideration for, or the matter under consideration is understood fully.
Yeah, got.
Yeah. So underneath there, it says वस्तु को जानने की नए प्रमाणात्मक सहज प्रक्रिया क्या है. So that's the same thing in nutshell what I said earlier. This he's saying is the student is asking what is the process of understanding the naya and praman from a or an object from a naya and praman point of view. So the explanation given here is सामान्य विशेषात्मक वस्तु को जानने के लिए सर्वप्रथम प्रमाण के द्वारा द्रव्य पर्यायात्मक वस्तु को समग्र रूप से जाने. What he is saying is that to establish an object of consideration, one needs to at least have a validated knowledge or validation of that object under consideration. Like if we want to understand jiva in the most purest form, like a siddha jiva, then we need to understand that the concept of jiva is essentially proven. So there is no doubt within that. if we doubt the proven and the validated information itself, then the whole process falls apart. So first of all, one needs to establish the confirmation of object of consideration. Then
So
he
what
says,
he's saying is that if you want to definitely know the entire knowledge about a particular object,
yes,
you need to know its properties.
you need to know its
The properties,
yeah.
both as that is both in its stable form and in its unstable form. That is
Yeah.
Paryarthamic.
Yeah. That will happen at the next stage. First of all, you have to establish that there is something like that. It is not an hypothetical or abstractive consideration. So,
No,
like,
he says samagra roop se jane. Roop se jane.
yeah.
Through its properties, you know the stable form and the unstable form of a substance. If you want to know the truth about that substance, sarva pratham praman.
That is why he said the first objective is to establish that object of consideration. So, praman ka vishay, the object, like again going back to the example of mango, first of all, we need to establish that there is a fruit called mango. If we don't know the fruit called mango, then what are we going to look for?
Yeah, okay.
Right. So first we establish that something like that exists. Something like that is proven to exist. Something like that has been propagated or has been told that it exists. So that is the praman. Now you once you have established that there is a fruit called mango, now I can go and look for the mango, its characteristics, its features, its all those paryas and dravya and whatever comes forward. But without understanding or without establishing that there is a fruit called mango, what am I going to look for?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that is the first step. Yeah. Then he says, तदुपरांत पर्याय पक्ष को सर्वथा गौण करके द्रव्यार्थिक नय के विषयभूत द्रव्य पक्ष पर ही अपनी दृष्टि केंद्रित करे. So what he says is, once you have established that object under consideration, now you look at the dravyayarthik point of view or the subject of dravyayarthik point of view and ignore the paryayarthik point of view initially. Now, if we ask a question, why is it that we want to establish the dravyayarthik point of view first and not the paryayarthik point of view at the initial stage? Then, if I understand it correctly, unless and until you understand the dravyayarthik point of view, you will be stuck into the paryay. And this is what from time immemorial we've been doing. We've been saying that we are kashayis, we are ragi dveshis, we are bonded by the karmas. And that is what makes us anxious. And we keep saying that how are we going to attain moksha if all this is a part of us? So if we get stuck into those paryas, then we don't know how to come out of it. It becomes a very confusing maze. So if you ignore those paryas and say, at the Dravya point of view, I am a Jeev, a Jiva who is in his guna, an observer, a seer, gyata, drashta, those kind of things. Then we say, okay, now we have established all the features of the Jiva. Then you look at the Paryay. Then you say, okay, from Dravya perspective, I am still the Jiva. From Paryaya perspective, maybe I am unjust, or I am Kashayi, or I am Ragi. But from Paryaya Dravya point of view, I am still Jiva. So there is a possibility of me to come out of those paryayas and become more purer, or come to that purer form of jiva at some stage. So that is why I'm looking at the dravya perspective, dravyayarthik nay, and ignoring the paryayarthik nay at this time. Now he says further, पर्यायों की उपेक्षा करते समय सम्यक एवं मिथ्या पर्यायों का भेद न करके संपूर्ण पर्याय पक्ष को अविवक्षित रखकर मात्र अभेद सामान्य द्रव्य पर ही दृष्टि केंद्रित करना आवश्यक है। अन्यथा दृष्टि द्रव्यायार्थिक नय के विषयभूत द्रव्य तक पहुंच ही नहीं सकेगी। What he is meaning here is that when we are ignoring the paryaya, we have to be very mindful that we are not selectively ignoring paryayas. So all the paryayas have to be ignored, whether it is a paryaya of the object under consideration, which is in a Shuddha form, or whether it is an Ashuddha or Vikari paryaya. So Swabhavi paryaya as well as Vikari paryaya needs to be ignored for that moment. Otherwise, there is a possibility that we may not be able to understand the Dravyayarthik Naya perspective of that Dravya under consideration. Then he says, जब दृष्टि सामान्य द्रव्य पर पहुंचेगी तो सहज ही निर्मल पर्याय प्रकट होगी, आत्मानुभूति प्रकट होगी. So he says, once you have ignored the paryayas, paryayarthik nay completely, and you have focused on the dravyayarthik nay, you will be able to understand the flaws that were causing the, or were the cause of the anxiety, and you are able to understand and the way of taking yourself out of those flaws and experiencing those nirmal paryaya. Nirmal means very purer form of paryayas, which will lead you to atmanubhuti or self-realization experience. Then he says, उसके बाद जब दृष्टि वहां से हटेगी तो पर्याय पर जाएगी अथवा द्रव्य पर्यायात्मक संपूर्ण वस्तु पर भी जा सकती है. So once you have understood that these are the features of jiva, now if your focus goes onto the paryaya as well, or even if it goes to the pramanit vastu or the main object number one, you would still be able to experience the same level of self-realization without being judgmental about those paryayas. Is that point clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now he says further, पर ध्यान रखने की बात यह है कि पर्याय पक्ष को गहराई से देखने के लिए दृष्टि में द्रव्य पक्ष को पूर्णतः गौण करना होगा, अन्यथा पर्याय का वास्तविक स्वरूप स्पष्ट नहीं हो सकेगा. So the same thing that we did for Dravyayarthik point of view, the same thing we will apply here as well. When we are looking at the paryaya perspective, we are ignoring the Dravyayarthik point of view. If we don't do so, there is a possibility that we will not be able to conclude in the right direction. Just for an example, if we establish that jiva is only a knower and seer, now we go into the paryaya perspective and we see what is this jiva seeing. Then he is seeing something on the television, or he is seeing something on his mobile phone. Then we will say, oh, so is that what is called knowing and seeing? So then we are confusing ourselves with what the features of jiva are. So we should at that time ignore what the Dravyayarthik Naya was telling us about jiva and have to follow what the Paryayarthik Naya is saying at that time, because that is the truth of that moment. So that will help us to, yeah.
So what he means is, when you want to initially understand, keep these two separate. That is
Yes.
Dravyarthik Naya and Paryarthik Naya.
Yes.
Study only one completely,
Yes.
keeping the other one out of the picture totally.
Yes.
And vice versa. And
Yes.
then put both together and get the wholesome picture.
Yes. Yes. The sequence will always happen from Dravyarthik Naya to Paryayarthik Naya.
Correct, correct. You need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
know the substance first before you see the modifications of it. right?
Modifications, exactly, exactly. Got it. Anybody else has any questions? Please raise your questions as we go. Next one, he further says, अंततः हमारे प्रमाण ज्ञान में निर्मल पर्याय सहित संपूर्ण द्रव्य पर्यायात्मक वस्तु प्रस्फुटित होगी. So that is what Shobha Madam was just saying. So when you have looked at Dravyarthik perspective without having indulged into the Paryayarthik at the same time, and the same way we have studied the Paryayarthik point of view without seeing the Dravyarthik point of view at the same time and clubbing them together, we are reinforcing that is the Praman. So whatever the Praman Gyan we started off with will be reaffirmed.
What is parasputit hogi?
Prasfutit is prasfutit. Prasfutit is means springs out. Like a sapling, say a seed is sown in a ground, and when the seed grows and the sapling bursts open out of the ground, that is called like prasfutit.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. उस प्रमाण रूप सम्यक ज्ञान में द्रव्य और पर्याय एक साथ ज्ञात होंगे. So when that praman gyan happens, or when that praman gyan is experienced, then that praman gyan will be it will be composed of dravya and paryay at the same time. इस प्रकार सामान्य विशेषात्मक वस्तु को जानने की यह नए प्रमाणात्मक सहज प्रक्रिया है. So he concludes by saying this is a natural process of understanding a dravya or from praman nay and dravyarthik nay and paryarthik nay point of view. Then next comes the Dravyarthik Nay. So now he is going to disintegrate the discussion into 2 points, Dravyarthik Nay point of view and Paryayarthik Nay point of view. So now he classifies the Dravyarthik Nay, Bhed and Prabhed, the classification. Dravyarthik Nay सामान्य विशेषात्मक आत्म वस्तु के नित्य एक अभेद रूप सामान्य अंश को विषय बनाने वाला है. So again going back to that chart there, from Dravyarthik Nay point of view, the object will be discussed from Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav as Dravya becomes Samanya or general, Kshetra becomes Ek, Abhed means it's all unified. The Kal becomes Nitya, which means it's ever present, and Bhav becomes one. That is a Shuddha Bhav of that Dravya under consideration. So that is the direction Dravyarthik Nay offers us. Then he says, विभिन्न शास्त्रों में भिन्न भिन्न दृष्टिकोण से द्रव्यार्थिक न्याय के भिन्न भिन्न भेद बताए गए हैं. In different shastras or scriptures, Dravyarthik न्याय has been explained in different ways from different perspectives. So one has to be mindful that we don't get entangled into just the words as they are used here, because at some time in some of the other shastras that we may read in our life, we may come across a different terminology but meaning the same concept, and we are able to understand that concept from that terminology is what the author is trying to tell us. जिनके संबंध में परम भाव प्रकाशक नए चक्र में विस्तार से विचार के पश्चात डॉक्टर हुकुमचंद भारिल के अनुसार द्रव्यार्थिक नए के मूल भेद 6 ही है जो निम्न है. So all those point of views have been collectively represented by Dr. Hukumchand Ji Bharil into 6 different classes which we are studying currently. The first one is Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. So completely pure Dravyayarthik Nay. Second says Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Nay, which means that partially pure Dravyayarthik Nay. The third word is Anvay Dravyayarthik Nay. As Madam explained the definition of Anvay, says connected Dravyayarthik Nay. Swa Dravyayarthik Grahak Dravyayarthik Nay. So one who is able to manifest within his or her or the Dravya's own Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav, that is called Swa Dravya Adi Grahak Dravyayarthik Nay. The next one is Para Dravya Adi Grahak Dravyayarthik Nay. So looking at the qualifications or characteristics of other Dravya and then comparing it with the Shuddha Dravya will become Para Dravya Adi Grahak Dravyayarthik Nay. And the sixth one is Param Bhavagrahi Dravyayarthik Nay, which is the absolute form of that Dravya which bears all the characteristics that it has, and it is experiencing those characteristics and is considered under those characteristics is called Param Bhavagrahi Dravyayarthik Nay. Now the question that come up to us is what is the difference between Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay and Paramabhav Grahi Dravyayarthik Nay? Shobha, Madam, any idea?
I think from what ma'am said afterwards, this Shuddha Dravyarthik Naya is just knowing the properties. Whereas the last one, Parama Bhavagrahi, that is understanding it from the Bhava point of view, not the physical properties, but from the abstract properties. Bhava is that feeling, various other non-tangible properties. No? That is.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. So he says, इनमें शुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय और अशुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय दोनों ही तीन प्रकार के होते हैं. इसे हम निम्न चार्ट द्वारा समझ सकते हैं. So then he further classifies the Shuddha and Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Nay into further 6 classes, or 3 each, I should say, based on 3 different considerations for the classification. So the first classification under Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay is Karmopadhik Nirapeksha Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. Second classification is Bhed Kalpana Nirapeksha Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. And the third one is Utpad Vyaya Nirapeksha Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. And similarly, on the other hand, when it becomes Shapeksh, that becomes the 3 categories of Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. I suppose Madam's explained this at length. So do we want to go on that, or I'll just start reading and translating whatever is underneath?
Yeah, I think we'll just translate, but I want just the word meaning for Sapeksha and Nirpeksha.
Yeah. So as she said, Nirpeksh means absolute, which means non-comparative. And Sapeksh means it's relative.
Okay.
So, we can use so many examples for that. As an individual, you are Shobha. So from Sapeksh, Nirpeksh point of view, you are Shobha. But when you go on, say, if I say, what does it mean by Shobha? Then you say, okay, Shobha is the mother of this person. Shobha is the daughter of this person. So then becomes Sapeksh. So when we are talking to ourselves, we have to be nirpeksh. So we're not relating it to any other thing or for our own understanding. But when we are explaining it to someone, then we have to give a context for it, and then that becomes sapeksh.
Okay, right. That's clear.
Yeah. So he says, द्रव्यार्थक नय की विषयभूत आत्मवस्तु यद्यपि पर और पर्याय से भिन्न भेद विकल्पों से निरपेक्ष अनंत गुणात्मक अभेद वस्तु है, तथापि वह उत्पाद व्यय है स्वरूप जिनका ऐसी पर्यायों की उपाधियों एवं भेद विकल्पों के साथ सर्वथा ही भिन्न हो, ऐसी बात नहीं है. So what he is trying to say here is that the object under consideration in Dravyarthik Naya, which is your object number 2, is also composed of the modifications within itself, but it's still not what do you say? You can still differentiate it from others and the modification, and also the vikar bhav like rag dvesh adi bhav. Also the bhav of bhed and abhed, kind of like the bhavas of bheda, they are also not necessarily separate to the dravya. So what I can say, it may sound a bit confusing, but what I'm understanding here is he's saying that when we are considering dravyayarthik naya point of view and we are closing our eyes from the paryayarthik point of view, it does not mean that the dravya is separate to the paryaya. It does not mean that the paryaya is not a part of the dravya. So it still means that they are part of the dravya, but they are not in the consideration at this point of time. So in essence, it is the what you call it? It is the embodiment of all those characteristics in Swadravya Kshetra Kal Bhav, but it does not possess anything from Pars Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav. And that is what one needs to understand when we are talking about differentiation between Shuddha Dravyayarthik Naya and Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Naya. So he says, यद्यपि देखना उसे द्रव्यांश को ही है, तथापि उसे उत्पाद व्यय रूप पर्यायों की उपाधियों एवं भेद विकल्पों से सापेक्ष भी देखा जा सकता है और निरपेक्ष भी. सापेक्ष देखना अशुद्धता है और निरपेक्ष देखना शुद्ध है. So what he is trying to say here is that when you are looking at the dravyayarthik perspective of any dravya, you are looking at it from absolute point of view. You can also look at it from relative point of view. So when you are looking at it from absolute point of view, that is the Shuddha Dravyayarthik Naya. And when you are looking at it from a relative perspective, then you are looking at the Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Naya. So again, for a quick understanding, if we go back to that example of mango, if we are looking at the mango, we can be looking at it from mango as it is, as a fruit, and we can also be looking at mango not being orange, mango not being apple, mango not being say tomatoes or anything. So when you say look at mango from mango as it is, you are looking at it from Shuddha Dravyayarthik Naya, which is the absolute way. And if you are looking at it from a relative way, to say mango is not orange, mango is not mandarin, mango is not apple, then you are looking at it from Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Naya.
Saurabhji, what is
yes.
the meaning of this sentence? Tatapi use utpad vyaya roop paryayon पर्यायों की उपाधियों एवं भेद विकल्पों से सापेक्ष भी देखा जा सकता है
Yeah.
और
So,
निरपेक्ष
nirpeksh Videka. So that is what is saying is that you are looking at the paryayas or the modifications happening in his dravya from utpad way. Like these paryayas are constantly having, like, they're generating and they are degenerating, generating and being destroyed. As well as you are also looking at the possessions of those paryayas. And as well as the vikalpa, means the different different possible paryayas that dravya can have. They all are your study material. So, like, say,
Yeah,
if
but
you're looking from a dravya, say again, coming back to mango, if I am looking at the mango from utpad way roop paryay, then I am saying that the raw mango is in its, say, when the raw mango comes into the stage of ripening, then the ripening stage is generated and the raw stage becomes destroyed, or it gets destructed. So then the ripening starts. The first phase of the ripening will lead to the second phase of ripening. So the second phase of ripening will mean that the first phase has got destroyed and the second phase has evolved. So that would be one point of consideration. Or you could say that that is one point of view. The other point of view is that if the mango is, say, ripe, then it has got more, say, vitamin C, and at the raw stage it has got less vitamin C. So you are looking at the component structure of that mango to look at the mango itself. You are deciding the quality of that mango or the mango being the dravya based on either the stage of its ripening, either the state of its composition, or you can also look at the mango from, this is a mango from say Tamil Nadu, this is a mango from Gujarat, this is a mango from Maharashtra. So those kind of things. So you can look
actually,
at from relative point of view as well, and you can look at from absolute point of view as well, to say mango is mango, and this is, say, if this stage is a ripe stage, then this is a ripe mango, but it is still mango. You're not talking about the ripeness anymore.
even though he says keep the paryaya as gaun,
Yes.
you still need to learn about
Paryayas
the
as well.
the properties of that mango at
Yes.
at all paryaya stages.
Yes, you would need to know them, but you're not looking at them. So your
Okay.
focus is to prove the mango as mango. Even though you're talking about the ripeness of the mango, your vision, in your vision, you are looking at the mango itself, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So even though you're talking about what state it comes from, you're still talking about the mango. What state is coming from is gone. It's not being taken into consideration. When you go into the paryayarthik drashti, then you will come into, say, this mango comes from Gujarat, so this is much better mango. This mango comes from Maharashtra, so this is much better than the other one. So that is your paryayarthik drashti. But at the same, now we are only looking at the dravya as mango as mango. Doesn't matter where it comes from, what state it is. Those things I only need to know so that I can establish that this is a mango.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you can look at it relatively as well as absolutely.
So for the
But
relative consideration, you need to know the paryayatic aspects of it.
yes. So when you know the paryayatic aspects, then you can say when these paryayas are absent, whether they are present or they are absent, in a purer form, this is still a mango.
Correct.
The dravya is still the dravya. even if I have got innumerous amounts of karmic bondage, I am still that dravya, that Jeev dravya, and these bondages are merely an external way of understanding who the Jiva is. That has made no change in the Jiva. So ripening or not ripening has not made any change in the mango itself. There may be the qualities of the mango, but the mango itself still remains the mango. It doesn't become apple. It doesn't become orange. It doesn't become cucumber or anything else. Right? So that is the idea, yeah. Then coming to page 31, यहाँ एक प्रश्न संभव है कि उत्पाद वे रूप पर्याय की उपाधि रूप औपाधिक भाव राग आदि तथा भेद कल्पना इन तीनों के ही पर्याय रूप होने से इन्हें तो पर्यायार्थिक नय का विषय होना चाहिए। इन्हें यहाँ द्रव्यायार्थिक नय का विषय क्यों बनाया जा रहा है? This is exactly what you are asking.
Correct. Yes.
If these paryas are only to be considered to confirm the dravya, then they should have been the object of consideration in paryayarthik nay. Why are we talking about them in dravyayarthik nay? Right? So if you are saying that you want to have mango, but you don't know how to test the mango, you don't know how to conclude that this is a mango. So you have to use different parameters. So now you're using the parameters like ripening and tasting and source and whatnot. Then why don't you use those prominently and don't worry about the dravya itself? You could use those and say, okay, this is ripe, which means this is mango. If this is, I don't care about the mango. I care about its ripeness. If it is ripe, it is sweet. Otherwise, it's no good to me. So that means that it should have been discussed in paryayarthik nay. Instead, we are discussing it in dravyayarthik nay. So that's the confusion. And so he's answering here. उक्त कथन में मुख्यता पर्याय की नहीं है, द्रव्य की ही है, क्योंकि देखा तो द्रव्य को ही जा रहा है, पर्यायों को नहीं। बात तो मात्र यह है कि पर्यायों से सापेक्ष द्रव्य को देखना अशुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय का काम है और पर्यायों से निरपेक्ष द्रव्य को देखना शुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय का काम है। Which answers the question to say
I'm confused with the second sentence. बात तो मात्र है.
So I'll go back to that sentence again. बात तो मात्र यह है कि पर्यायों से सापेक्ष द्रव्य को देखना अशुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय का काम है और पर्यायों से निरपेक्ष द्रव्य को देखना शुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय का काम है. What it is he saying that when you are looking at the perspectives, those modifications, if you are looking at the ripeness, the rawness, the taste, the composition, to conclude that this is the dravya, then you are using them as relative, or you're using those information relatively, right? So relatively, anyway, what you are concluding in the end is that this is a mango. So when you are using those perspectives for relatively proving that this is a mango, you are going from a ashuddha dravyayarthik nay point of view. Now you can look from the shuddha dravyayarthik point of view to say this is a mango. It may be ripe, it may be raw, it may be juicy, it may be sweet, it may be sour. I don't look at them. I am looking at it as a mango. So there is no perspective involved into it. There is no relativity involved into it. You have straight away concluded that whatever you are visioning, what you are looking at is a mango. And that is the Shuddha Dravyayarthik nay.
What he is saying is to have a nirpeksh, that is that absolute non-negotiable knowledge should be paryaya rahit. That means it should be, that is when you will get the purnata praman.
Yes. So then you can say Now, and that is why he has to use this Ashuddha Dravyarthik Nay as well, because that is where you start your journey. But
Hmm.
that is not where you need to end. If you don't go beyond, then your praman will fall back,
Correct.
right? So
It
that
won't be
is,
complete. It
it
won't
won't
be
be complete. It won't be complete. It would be misleading actually.
correct.
Yeah.
You will have a lot of loose ends if you don't consider those.
True.
First, you have
True.
to consider all those Sapek stuff so that you have done away with them and got your information from it,
Yeah.
and with which you will base all your other judgments and opinion and get the
Yes.
right one. If you
Yes.
haven't done it, the loose ends will always be hanging around.
True. The other way, if I look at it, then Ashuddha Dravyarthik Nay is the Nay of speech or communication, and
Mm.
Shuddha Dravyarthik Nay is the subject of inference or subject of what you call realization,
Conclusion.
conclusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like if I have to tell someone, go and buy a piece of a mango for me from the market, then I have to tell him from Ashuddha Dravyarthik point of view that this is what you're going to be looking for, this is what you need to make sure you are checking before you buy it, and this is what you need to conclude. But within myself, I have to have a clear idea that mango is this. I would not know what mango is going to come, but for me, the mango is mango. So I have that clarity within my realization, my conclusion. Then I am in the Shuddha Dravyarthik Nay. Now, if you were not to have these two options, then the matter would have been more complicated because I understand what a mango is, but I'm not able to tell someone what to look into a mango. So I
Hmm.
still have to use that Ashuddha Dravyarthik Nay to be able to communicate the information. But in my conclusion, I have to be very, very specific that I am understanding it from Shuddha Dravyarthik point of view. Then only I can go into the Praman, or then only I can go to that Param Bhav Grahi Dravyarthik Nay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then he goes, यहाँ प्रयोजन तो मात्र द्रव्यों को देखने का ही है, अतः यह द्रव्यायार्थिक नय ही है। पर्याय द्रव्य से सर्वथा भिन्न तो है नहीं, पर यदि अशुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय का प्रयोग नहीं होता, तो शुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय के जोर में उन्हें सर्वथा पृथक मान लिया जाने पर भिन्न एकांत का प्रसंग उपस्थित हो जाता। अतः अशुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नयों का कथन सार्थक है, प्रयोजन भूत ही है, निरर्थक नहीं है, अप्रयोजन भूत नहीं है. So in essence, he is trying to say the same thing as I was explaining earlier, that we may say that if I am looking from a dravya point of view, why am I involving paryaya in there? Why am I am discussing about paryaya when I am told not to look at the paryaya but look at the dravya? So he is saying that without the application of Ashuddha Dravyarthik Nay, you would not be able to communicate the matter, and then it will become Ekant. So there, without considering those paryaya, you just consider the Dravya, you would be then Pramana Bhasi from Dravyayatic perspective. So
No, no.
that
In this case, he's not talking about paryaya at all. He's saying first consider the relative points of the. He's only talking about the Ashuddha Dravyarthik Nay.
Ashuddha Dravyarthik Nay, yeah.
That is the Nirpeksha, the relative points.
Yeah, Sapeksh.
Sapeksh.
Sapeksh, yeah. So that's what it is. That when you look at Ashuddha Dravyarthik Nay, it is using the relativity of paryaya, right? So he's saying that if you are questioning why to use relativity of paryaya when I am only going to be focusing on the dravya, Then he says if you apply only Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay, ignoring the Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Nay, then it will only reflect Ekant Drishti. So they are both essential for exposing the complete reality. And one should not be excluding one at the expense of other. So like in general, if you say, when you say Ashuddha in literal translation, it means impure, right? So somebody may say, if it is impure, then it's not going to let me to the pure conclusion. So I should be ignoring the impure for the sake of receiving the pure.
Correct.
But he says that if they both are helping, like they are hand in glove. So if you ignore one of them, the other one will be not able to give you the reality. So you will become,
Yeah, and the information will be useless.
Useless. It would not conclude in the Praman that you are trying to look at.
So what is this word sartak and nirartak?
Sarthak means it is supporting your cause. And
And
nirarthak means is of no use.
Okay.
So sa-arthak and nir-arthak. Arthak means your purpose. And
Meaningful.
one that is supposed is meaningful for that purpose is sarthak. And one which is meaningless for that purpose is called nirarthak.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Then he says, यदि अशुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नयों की ही चर्चा करते तो पर्यायों से भिन्नता वाला पक्ष अस्पष्ट रह जाता. उसके बिना आश्रयभूत द्रव्य ही स्पष्ट न हो पाता. अतः पर्यायों से द्रव्य को निरपेक्ष बताने वाले शुद्ध द्रव्यायार्थिक नय भी अप्रयोजनभूत नहीं है, अपितु मूलभूत प्रयोजन की सिद्धि करने वाले होने से अत्यंत आवश्यक एवं महत्वपूर्ण है. So now he is talking about the importance and significance of Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. He says that if you are applying a Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay and you get stuck into it, then you will not be able to understand the Dravya who is the embodiment of those paryayas, but your focal point is that Dravya itself, without having any desire or any meaningful conversation on the paryayas. So if you are only talking about the Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Nay, then you will not be able to conclude the Praman again without the help of that Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. So one should understand the significance of Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. Again, this is actually hammering the concept of Nishchay and Vyavhar. So as we often say that one becomes Vyavharabhasi when he is ignoring Nishchay, and one becomes Nishchayabhasi when he is ignoring of the Vyavhar. So they are both to be understood in the correct manner, applying both of them where it is necessary. In the same way, the importance of this Dravyayarthik Nay is to prove or validate the Dravya that has been established in the Praman. And these are two different tools to validate that. So once again, the Shuddha Dravyayarthik Nay is the reason why we are applying the Ashuddha Dravyayarthik Nay. So again, the Karta Kriya Sambandh then becomes very relevant here.
My God. Should we stop here? It's 10
Yeah,
o'clock.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Is everybody else wanting to finish or they want to continue?
I would like to finish as well. But it's up to everyone. If somebody wants to go a little bit longer, we can do something.
We'll stop here, Shobha ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Jinendra, everyone.
Thank
Jai
you.
I hope I
Thank
was
you,
able to translate it in the way it was easier for you to understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I will listen again.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really good to do this because it gives a clearer picture, and because we ask questions in between also.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
think
find this very complex subject.
yeah. And
So
the
much
fact that
classification.
these things are so much written in a very technical language that if we get stuck into the technicality of the language, we just miss the message. But at the same time, they've given us those abilities to communicate in a common man's language as well by applying those tools everywhere else. That makes it much easier for us to understand, I suppose.
but we need to break it into simple. We have to break it and
Yeah.
understand in part. Like he says, na, I mean, in understanding this also, we have to have Ashuddha Dravyartik Naya and
True. Yeah.
to get the Shuddha Dravyartik Naya of what Dravya Shuddha Naya means actually.
Yeah. Yeah. What amazes me whenever I'm learning or listening to or reading scriptures is the fact that acharyas and kevalis and all those omniscients and those learned people have thought about the most dumbest creature on this planet who will have to come to that reading as well. So they're saying that we will break it down to such a level that even somebody who has got no idea of what he needs or wants to know in his life, when he reads even that basic function, he will be able to relate to where we are bringing him. So this kind of a clarity of the audience or of the readers or of the seekers is amazing. It is just mind-boggling. We may complain about the complexities in front of us, but I think that if we look at the hindsight of it, they're really giving us so many smaller detailed perspectives that we can hang on to and say, okay, now if I climb from this side, I'll be able to make more clarity in this area. It is. I have never seen this in any other format at all. So it's amazing, just amazing.
What do you mean
Good.
by any
I'm
other
glad they
format?
thought that we are all unintelligent.
I wouldn't call unintelligent, but we are not aware of these things, right? We never think from this point of view. We just are hunky-dory in our lifestyle and we think, okay, everything's going smooth, so it must be this way. And we just forget about what really has brought us to that extent. And now that through Parmagam, we are able to challenge ourselves and our whatever derivations we have done in our life, we are able to tell ourselves that yes, this is what we are missing, this is what we have missed earlier, this is what we have never thought about, this is what needs to be thought about more seriously, more concerningly. That kind of a viewpoint is a very profound way of changing our own existential questioning. That's how I look at it. But I just it just gives me goosebumps whenever I'm sitting in this class. And it's I should say I'm really fortunate to have scholarly people around me, like the whole team that we are here. We may call ourselves not knowing much, but in fact we are giving ourselves and everyone else so many things to input in their own knowledge as well. So it is amazing. It's a very, very great experience. So thank you everyone for participating.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra. Jai Jinendra.
See you in the evening.
See you in the evening. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.